Hello everyone, my name is Danielle McCullum, and today my topic of discussion is the Earth's atmosphere. My goal here today is to provide you with as much information in 15 minutes and give you as much detail as I possibly can about the Earth's atmosphere and why it is important. The atmosphere is estimated to be about 5 billion years old. What the atmosphere is, it's an envelope of gases that surrounds the Earth. It helps protect the Earth, and it protects us from foreign space objects, comets, the sun. It also gives us the ability to sustain life here on Earth. The Earth's atmosphere is essential for life here on Earth. It's one of the things that keeps us from being burned to death every day. It brings rain for our plants, and so we stay hydrated. It's something we need to survive. Not to mention, um, it holds the oxygen that we need to breathe. And essentially, the atmosphere is a collection of gases that makes the Earth habitable. The gases in the Earth's atmosphere include nitrogen, there's oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide. Also, there are traces of many other gases as well in the Earth's atmosphere. Next, we're going to talk about the 5 layers that the atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere, consists of. If you look here, tried to draw something here. Here's the Earth's atmosphere, and it consists of 5 layers. Very first layer, here's Earth. Very first layer is the troposphere. The second one is the stratosphere. Then there's the mesosphere, the thermosphere, exosphere, and then you have space. If you can see that. While the atmosphere becomes thinner the higher you go up, there's no clear line demarcating the atmosphere from space. The Kármán line is the boundary between the atmosphere and space. The first layer I want to talk to you all about is the troposphere, and give you an idea exactly what it is, where it is, and its importance. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the troposphere, which is located right above the Earth's surface, which is kind of also included with Earth. Depends on how you look at it, depends on who's teaching it. But it's located right above Earth. This is where the weather is located. This is where our clouds are formed, or rain. We can also fly our planes there. It's literally located. This is the Earth. Right above the Earth, here is the troposphere. And it's also the last layer of the Earth's atmosphere. It's considered the last layer. Some people may look at it as the first layer, but it is technically the very last layer of the atmosphere. The air in the troposphere is heated from the ground up, and the surface of the Earth absorbs the energy and heats up faster than the air does. The heat is then spread through the troposphere because the air is so unstable. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the stratosphere. The stratosphere is the next layer of the atmosphere that I'm going to discuss, which is located right above the troposphere. What occurs in the stratosphere is that's where our weather balloon is located. Also, it is about 170,000 feet long, or about 32 miles long. The temperature there increases because it is directly affected by the sun. The stratospheric temperature profile creates a very stable atmospheric conditions in the stratosphere. So the stratosphere lacks the weather producing ability in the air turbulence that is prevalent in the troposphere. Next, I'm going to provide you with some information about the mesosphere. In the mesosphere, the air is really thin. This is considered to be one of the coldest in the atmosphere, one of the coldest layers. It is located directly above the stratosphere. If you see here, my wonderful drawing, right here is the mesosphere. In this layer, this is where comets are destroyed, and this helps protect us from a lot of foreign objects flying from space trying to enter Earth. The mesosphere extends about 260,000 to about 280,000, which is equivalent to about 50 to 53 miles long. In the mesosphere, this is where, like I told you, all the meteors burns up. This is where all the meteors burn up. This is where the space shuttle needs the protective shield to get through that, because otherwise it can burn up. Next up for our discussion, I'm going to talk about the next layer of the atmosphere, which is called the thermosphere. The thermosphere is considered to be the second highest level or layer of the Earth's atmosphere, located right above the mesosphere. If you see here, it's the thermosphere. The thermosphere rises several hundred feet above the Earth's surface, about 50 miles up to about 400 miles. The temperature in this layer increases actually. It can rise to about as high as 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit, which is equivalent to about 2,000 degrees Celsius. In the thermosphere, it is completely cloudless and free of water vapor. And last, we're going to talk about the final layer of the Earth's atmosphere, which is known as the exosphere. It is the top layer. located right here at the right before you get to space is the exosphere. The exosphere is the outermost layer of the atmosphere located right before space. Considered the top layer, if you like to call it, last layer. Here, molecules are so far apart and can travel hundreds of miles before they run into each other, bump into each other. The gases in the exosphere are mostly hydrogen and helium. And once you reach a certain height in the thermosphere, a certain height in the thermosphere in the exosphere, you're considered to be in outer space. Technically, the United States definition of an astronaut is to travel 50 miles above sea level. A few other things that occurs in the exosphere is the air there is really thin because the molecules are so far apart. Also, our space shuttle orbits around the exosphere. That's where that occurs. Also, the temperature usually rises, it goes up due to the fact that because of the altitude. Also in the atmosphere, there's this thing called pauses. In between each layer of the atmosphere, the 5 layers, there are these pauses. For instance, there is in between the troposphere is the tropopause. The stratosphere, there's a stratopause. In the mesosphere, there's a mesopause. Thermosphere, thermopause. At these pauses, maximum change between the spheres occur. I hope I was able to give you a decent amount of information about the atmosphere. For the longest, it took me a very long time to really grasp what the atmosphere is and what it do. Once I found out, I was pretty fascinated. I've always been fascinated with learning about space. A lot I just didn't understand, but I wanted to understand. It was just pretty difficult. I've always been fascinated with stars, space, and rocket ships and whatnot. With that, I found it really fascinating that we have to have a protective shield in order for our space shuttles to break through the atmosphere to get into space. And I've just wanted to talk about it and hopefully do the best I could to get you all to understand what I understand. No, I'm not a public speaker. I don't excel at this, but it is something I've always taken great interest in. So this is why I chose this topic. Learning about it, you get to understand why it is important. Without it, we wouldn't even be here. A lot occurs in the atmosphere. In each layer, there's something substantial to our life. We have the weather, we have the gas, the heat that protects us, and also it blocks off, the sun from burning us. It protects us from comets and whatnot. Now, every so often, one may make it in, but it's highly unlikely, but it does happen. And with that being said, I just hope I was able to give you all a nice amount of information pertaining to the atmosphere. And I wish you all the best and a great summer, and I hope you all had a good semester. Thank you.